So here's something cool, and it's not just that Muse opens up so quickly and just gets going very fast. The idea that Muse is built around templates, which we've discovered, the page layouts and all of these kind of things, is very cool. But there's another aspect which I want to show you, which is fundamental to how Muse works, because you can't write code, but you want fancy things to happen. In here we've got a thing called the Widget Library. And the Widget Library is the way that we include lots of various things. The one I've plan on focusing for today is pretty much around slideshows. And you've got basic ones, blank ones, lightbox ones, thumbnail ones, all of them giving you kind of different ways of presenting your images. And then there's also a full screen one, which is a recent addition to the group. So I want to show you that one because it's kind of cool. All you need to do to include the widget is drag it in. Once you drag it into the page, you get this extra sideshow option thing that appears. I'm going to click away from it so it disappears because that's the thing you're going to want to get back. And you'll be going, where do I get that back again? Well, there's this little blue icon here, which if you click, brings back those slideshow options. In where you have this again, you can basically go and explore, find your different images that you want to. So I've got the elephant, the penguins, and the tiger. Import those in, and it'll put it in for you. You can then go to preview. You'll see the page kind of preview here, and then you can click next, and back, and back. It changes this number for you. It shows you that. It allows you to jump backwards and forwards, and that's the default behavior of that one. Again, select it and then find the little blue icon there to make some adjustments to your actual widget. For me, I'm going to turn the autoplay off, and I'm also going to change the horizontal transition to a fade. I'm going to go back in here, preview that again, and now when we click next, they just crossfade, which is a little bit more what I was kind of wanting to show off. Now, the obvious thing is, how do I change these white backgrounds and those little icons inside of it? All of those elements, and whenever you bring in widgets, are selectable. Once you select it, you'll get some options around this. Particularly, I can kind of change this to an orange or something. Same with the counter. Ideally, pick the same orange. And what you've got then is the ability to select inside, which is the text. Go to your text tool, make that larger. Might have overdone it. I'll make it white. Just going to make it white from the swatches. And then once you've done that, you'll see that those arrows also adjust. By changing one of them, you change both because they're kind of from the same family. And this is your extra widget here, which is your counter. And I can actually turn him off from the slideshow options down below in the parts. At the same time, I could go in and I could edit and add thumbnails. So if we preview that now, we've got orange buttons for backwards and forwards. We've got these little thumbnails here, which we can jump around out of order. And all of these items we can move around. So if I decide I want the next button to be over on the right hand side, I can move it to the right hand side. And as a result of that, I'll have that button over here. So I'll be able to flick between it from here to here. Same with resizing, you can make them bigger. If you want, the whole thing then becomes clickable. So that whole thing's clickable. And same with these thumbnails, if you want to do something with those guys, you can reposition them and they'll be there for you to kind of mess around with. Especially good if you've got photography or maybe illustrations or some layouts that you want to show. It's kind of cool to have this little insert show all those little elements around it. These next buttons might be unnecessary, at which point you just decide that if that's the case, you turn the previous and next parts off, and then when you go back to preview, they're gone, but you still have these little thumbnails. And if you wanted to add autoplay back into it, again, just go back in there, select autoplay, and back you go. So hopefully that gives you an idea how these widgets work. I would encourage you to explore the different widget libraries because there's some cool things in there. Once you get a widget in, remember that you want to edit the options by kind of grabbing that. If you want to add your own images, grab the Add Images folder, click that, and it'll load them in. Once they're in, you'll be able to use them. And as a result of that, you'll get this nice cool looking page in minutes, which otherwise would have taken you a long time to kind of code up from scratch. So hopefully that's a little bit of encouragement and something cool for you to consider. As always, leave some comments below, and I look forward to talking to you tomorrow.